Hello and welcome to On the Team Bus, where we bring you the stories and adventures from the riders and friends of Team ODZ. Each episode we'll hear from a team member and get to know them a little bit better and hear the stories from on and off the bike. My name's Jason Flores and we've got a special guest today. Let me switch scenes here and we're going to head over to the Team Bus Lounge. Give it a second here. And there we are. We've got Adam Toledo here. Good morning, Adam. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. I'm going to get this shared out. I'm not sure he's got a little bit of sharing to do on his end too, but we'll get this going. So I know we'll just get it started. You're known as ToledoTorpedo online. Got that persona. We could start there and kind of just give me the backstory. Like we met, elevator pitch. Like who are you? What do you do?
So, what got me into biking, period, was actually triathlons. I know
Nice.
Ian would like to hear that, but
Yeah.
so I had no bike. I never had any biking experience. I didn't swim. All I had was running background. I was overweight, and I said, you know what? I need to do something. So
Yeah.
I signed up for a triathlon. I had no bike, no running, no nothing in me. So all I did was started running. I was like, wow, this is painful. My knees, everything was hurting. So I started going to the gym and just doing elliptical. Solely elliptical. Got my weight way off. I lost about 25 pounds just doing elliptical.
Wow.
I was like, all right, now I need to buy a bike. I'm signing up for a triathlon. So of course I want the best bike ever, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna do all that. So I signed up for a decent bike and started going to the YMCA swimming.
Yes.
But now swimming in the pool compared to the ocean is a big difference. So I got hooked on the bike immediately as I bought it. I started doing group rides and I got hooked. I did a few triathlons. I podiumed a few in my age group, but it's just every race I went to, I was nervous.
Yeah.
I don't like to show up to something being nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna make it out of the water. What position am I gonna be in out of the water? I was always questioning, doubting myself. I didn't like to swim. It would be something if I liked it and enjoyed it, I would continue doing it. But
Right.
I stopped after my first season.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what? The focus on something I'd really like to do. And that name ToledoTorpedo actually came from one of the group rides. The guy was like, oh, ToledoTorpedo. And I was like, actually, you know what? That
Nice.
fits me
Well,
pretty well.
well,
Because, I was fast on the bike, always being
Yeah.
on the group rides. And, it's a different environment. I'm not in a very competitive area. I'm with a lot of, older gentlemen. And they're strong riders, don't get me wrong, but they're just older,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of stuck out like a sore thumb, the young guy, so that's kind of how I got my name. And then I think one of my first races, somebody had mentioned Zwift, and I was like, what the heck is that? So I could train in my basement. This is
Yeah.
going to be great, So I had kids at the time. They were really, really young. I still have them, by the way. They're just young. So I'm like, I'll never have time for that, So I'm very competitive, very competitive. So I got Zwift and kind of found you guys. And
Yeah.
then when I found Zwift and Team ODZ, it was just a whole nother level of camaraderie, And
Yeah.
that's kind of what got me going on the bike. That's the kind of the front story of it.
Nice. What
But
year are
ever
we
since,
talking
I just
about?
kept up.
Oh, sorry. What year are we talking about? Triathlons, and we're looking at three
Triathlon.
three years out. 3 years out. What are we looking at?
So 3 years, yeah,
Yeah, 3 years. 15.
2015.
Yeah. Yeah.
15.
So you were part of the beta group for Zwift, or did you come on board when it got released to public? Where were you at with all that?
It was released to public already. So
Gotcha.
I want to say I got on Zwift end of 2016.
Sounds right.
2016.
November time. Sounds right. Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So were you doing structured workouts? Were you working with coaches? Kind of what were you doing?
I wasn't doing anything, but the thing is, by not doing anything, I was having like good success. When I started doing the road racing, I call it road racing because it's in the middle between a road race and a crit. It's still a
Mhm.
closed loop, but
Yeah.
it's not that every turn is a freaking sprint We're gonna
Mm.
talk about that one. Actually, one of my races that I crashed at in Beverly
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those type of crits. What's funny is that I was gonna, preparing mentally for this conversation was I'm really strong at the road race type races over a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Crits is just power every corner.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. It's every corner. Um, I'm not gonna say I'm not good at those type of crit races. It's just that I came into a really fast championship type race when I didn't have my fitness where I would expect to be because of my previous crashes.
Mm.
Um, so I'm not gonna say I'm not bad. I'm actually what it is. I think I'm just scared at this point.
Yeah.
It's something that it's scary because when you go down at those speeds, it hurts.
Yeah,
It
no,
um
we talk about it all the time, the mental fortitude it takes, or just like essentially bringing back someone from a crash, or just from maybe even just not accomplishing their goal. Simple as that. You know, being able to
yeah,
talk athletes through that and get and bring them back to a place where they can allow themselves for their fitness, or you know, their strengths to kind of shine through again, right?
it's hard. It's hard. Me, I'm like I said, what brings me back is just being competitive. Um, I'm not gonna say I have a name. I'm just gonna say that people know me. I came out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I started with Cat Fives. I was podiuming. I was always close to winning. I haven't won one yet. I've always been either A, beaten at the line, or I've crashed. And it sucks. So ever since I've been getting beat at the line, I was like, all right, I'm doing something wrong. And it's basically, so I got cameras in the front, cameras in the back, and I've kind of just like taught myself because I don't have a teammate.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends that we try to put a little team together, but it's just I know they're gonna be watching this. I think, I hope. It's just they haven't been able to assist me in an actual in a race. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They haven't been there.
Yeah.
Um, and so I kind of started racing for my local bike shop in a sense. It was kind of all happened really fast. We were going to start the team thing, and then it just kind of just the bike shop, and then
Mm-hmm.
Team ODZ kind of came on board. We were kind of
Yeah.
trying to do like you got to try to do like a team, and it just kind of all happened so fast.
Yeah.
But I kind of just felt like I owed my bike shop
Yeah.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure.
Um, and that's kind of how I talked it out with Justin because Justin and he helped me with a lot of things.
Good.
As far as what to look for, what not to look for, because he streams a lot and Eric also streams a lot. You
Hmm.
stream a lot, but I don't really catch you all the time. It's always like
Off
off
times.
times.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I usually I kind of just like I call it was just like a force field. I
Mhm.
attracted to Justin and then
Yeah.
he knew that I was going up to Idaho sometime last year, and we linked up, just a quick hello, goodbye type of thing. We had lunch, and I met
Nice.
with Bob Christensen as well. So
Nice.
it was just one of those like I got attracted to Justin, and it was just
Yeah.
not physically Justin, just it was uh
A lot of us are attracted to Justin. He's a really good looking guy
no
too.
no.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happened, and then it just
Yeah.
like I would just email him I
Yeah.
would just send him a message. Hey, what do you think about this? So before I got into like any structured stuff, like I
Yeah.
was getting results by myself. It was just
Absolutely.
how you call it, like a natural ability,
Hmm.
and I mean like it was just in my local races. Again, my area is not very competitive. I'm in Massachusetts. What I mean by not competitive is not ginormous fields like you guys
Yeah.
probably have
Yeah.
in your area. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Hmm.
And I was actually talking to one of the guys actually I ran into in Hawaii.
Wow.
And he just looked at me and I looked at him. He's like, "You cycle?" And I was like, "What kind of random question is that?" So it was just something that came up with a conversation. He lived out in California. He's like, "Man, every race I show up to, everybody got a star, a stripe.
Yep.
The national champion this,
Yep.
national champion that." And I was like,
Yep.
"Yeah, I don't deal with that." But again,
Yeah.
he's probably like Cat 3s and 2s at the time. I'm
Hmm.
still a Cat 4.
Hmm.
This season I was expecting to cat up to Cat 3 because I have Cat 4 points.
Yeah.
But that's again that competitive nature of me that I just wanted my points and I expected those points.
Yeah.
And I tell you, this sport is humbling. It's
Yeah.
tough. I walk in with my chest all high, and then the next second is like, what the hell just happened? They just swapped out, like, I don't, back to the drawing board, you know? And then with that said, I was doing really well, and then I started doing structured workouts.
Mhm.
We had the endurance lab when we first introduced it.
Yeah.
I did 2 sessions. I loved it because it kind of just put me in a structured mentality. That's like, all right, it's not always go 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 go, and that's
Hmm.
just my mentality is go 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 go
Yeah.
go. And that doesn't work.
Yeah. I think
um,
it could work for like as you were coming on board and you were getting up to fitness and getting your body used to those kind of intensities. I think it could be very useful for athletes. But over time, you harness those skills, like get yourself, prepared for that final 5K, to be able to make that sprint. You were getting yourself there, but being able to save that energy on the front end of the first third of the race, be able to get yourself there at the finish part. That's that key part to be able to, like, strategy wise and energy wise, to be able to have those skills to be able to pull from, be able to bring it, all together. Yeah.
and that's where I struggle mentally because I don't like to get dropped in a race, and because like once you get dropped in a race, it's almost like how am I going to get back?
Yep.
There's
Yep.
teams at that point. It's like
Yep.
how. So there's times where I have one race in particular where I just said I'm not letting more than like 10 people pass me.
Yeah.
And what happens is you have these teammates, and they pull for each other, and they know who they want to drop.
Yeah.
Even though it's a Cat 4 field,
Yeah. That's
they
interesting.
know there's sandbaggers. Let's be real. There's a lot of sandbaggers. They don't upgrade, so it gets even harder. So sometimes it's even more competitive in a Cat 4 field over a Cat 3.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how I've seen it because I've been to the races myself, and it's like,
Yeah.
why are these guys not upgraded? What they've been in a Cat 4 for how many years?
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of what happens, and then everybody just kind of bunches up. You have these teammates, and it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks.
It
Um,
could definitely be
but it's
challenging.
the nature of it's the nature of the sport. Um, but yeah, it's been a terrible season for me because I went in with the mindset of, like I said, catching up this year.
Hmm.
Because I have 12 points
Yeah.
and I need 20, so I just need 8 more.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
like I said, my first race, that's actually my first crash. I was going to win that race.
Yeah.
I'm as humble as they come, but I was going to win that race. And it's a 4 lap race. I'm gonna say about 5 miles, 5.5 miles. And on the third lap, I had a Spanish guy, out of all people. He's like, "Oh, hey," in Spanish, he's talking to me. He's like, "Hey, let's go, let's go." And I was like, "That's all I wanted. Let's go." So we go. He's pulling. He's pulling. Mikey pulls out the elbow. I start pulling.
Yeah.
I look back after 10 seconds. He was gone. So I'm like by myself in the front of a race. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna hold this off for another 5 miles
Oh my
because it was like
gosh.
at the end of a third
Yeah.
lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, nope, I'm not doing that to myself. And actually, with that same guy, my first race ever that I came in second place, he actually did that. On the last lap, he just pulled and just went. And I was like, this guy ain't winning me. Like, he's not beating me. So I went behind him, and we're going. I have it on video, and we're going, going, going. And then the field ended up catching me because he ended up, like, slowing down so much, but I didn't realize it. I was new.
Yeah.
That was like my
Yeah.
first race. And
Yeah.
if I knew that, I would have just pulled off and kept
Yeah.
going. But I stayed behind him, and I was the type at the time I never looked back. So
Yeah.
again, that's why I got those cameras in the back. And if I looked back, I would have known they were coming for me. And one guy caught me, and
Yeah.
I was like, that was my first race. I should have won. And then,
Yeah.
but that same exact guy pulled me out this year, and he's like, "Let's go." I was like, "Yep, let's go." And he didn't have it, so I said, "I'm waiting for the field." I just sat up, waited for the field. Fourth lap came in. We're about maybe 2 miles into that first lap, and I went down
Yeah.
hard.
So is this
And
the is
basically, I was kind of
yeah.
that's the Mount Standish race. I don't have the
Got
video of
it.
that because I have the video of it. I just never posted it anywhere. It's very controversial. It's
Yeah.
very
That's
it could be one of those types of like, oh, it's your fault, and I'm like, like it could be one of those videos where you could point fingers, and it's like I'm not doing that. So and I felt bad because there were some people that got really, really hurt behind
oh
me.
It was like multiple. It was like a multiple
Oh
group
yeah,
thing.
so it was
Oh
like
man.
it was about a good 10, 12 of us that went down.
Oh,
One
that's
in particular,
nuts.
he broke his shoulder
Mm-hmm.
blade,
Mm-hmm.
not shoulder blade, his collarbone.
Clavicle. Yeah,
I
collarbone.
just felt terrible, and I was like, you know what, I don't want that negativity around
Yeah,
me.
no, no, totally.
So I just never posted that video because again, and some top guys went down, meaning like
Yeah.
some guys that have won that race in the past years. So it was one of those I was like, this sucks because it was just one of those. Like I said, I was in the front. I was like ready to win, and I kind of waited for the pack, let a few guys come by because I already knew what the pack has been doing. Because at that point, I'm just learning the people because
Mm-hmm.
I've made a lot of mistakes in my time, my little bit of time, and I was just waiting to get some on, and I was ready for that end. My fitness was amazing, and then once you crash, like I said, it's hard to get back. That Beverly race came up. It was a month and a half, almost 2 months, because it took me about a month to just get my head mentally back in, and I was like, all right, I need points.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Beverly, a place I never been. I was like, there probably is not going to be that many people. There was a lot of people, and then
Yeah.
on top of that, it started raining.
Yeah.
Um, I have I have a family. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the race. I was like, whenever it rains, any race I'm signed up to, I don't care what it is. If it's a little wet, I'm not signing up. I'm not going. What,
Yeah.
$35 I lost, $45? I don't care. Give it to whoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of money when it comes at that point. So same thing happened with Beverly. Mentally, I was like, I want my points, and I went, and then that happened, which is what
Yeah.
you have,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
clip you have, and that actually I'm still sore right here, and that was only what,
Wow.
4 months ago. It's still bruised a little bit, and my bike's still it's fixed. I just don't have it painted. I need to get it painted.
Nice.
Um, I had a carbon repair guy up in actually your way,
Yeah.
where
It's huh?
in Cali, Calfee,
Yep.
Calfee, this
That's where you go, man.
they
If you
they
want
did a fix.
if you want to keep your bike together, this is where you bring your carbon, man. That's the place to go.
I hope that's the last time. I hope that's the
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah, they do a good job. So I was gonna so we're gonna switch over to this video, but what I wanted to talk about was the way this crit is laid out. I'm hoping groups are moving away from using these orange gates because they're super dangerous. Obviously, you know why. And we see a lot of these in city settings, which is exactly what Beverly was. It's kind of city with roads blocked off and that sort of thing. Where we're hopefully what we normally see, or traditionally you'll see these on the sidewalks, not on the road. And we do see these in this type of setting. So I'm going to switch over to the video. It's about 90 seconds long, but it happens on the early side. So if you could just take us through it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on your end here, but I'm sure you remember. Sure you remember it. So let me switch on over here. So for the viewers at home, we're gonna get started. So we're in the pack. We've got like 6 or 7 here in the video. We've got our forward and back video. I'm gonna go ahead and hit play here, and we're gonna come into this next corner. We're gonna be watching this orange kit here. That's right, Adam? Yeah.
Yep, yep,
Yep. Okay,
yep.
here we go. So we're coming into
He's
this
actually
corner.
one of the juniors.
Yep. Here it is. Boom. Nuts. Nuts. Yeah, so we got the slow-mo here. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. So so just talking us through there, you were on this wheel. He definitely took really low on this corner.
So it wasn't his fault. So what
Yeah,
ended up happening, the guy to his left,
I see him.
he was being a jerk the whole
Yeah.
race.
Oh,
So
okay.
what happened is at this point there was a lead pack, and we were right behind that lead pack.
Oh, I see
So
it.
me and the guy in orange, that was the last lap. The guy in orange and I we kind of talked because
Mm-hmm.
we know each other,
Mm-hmm.
from previous races,
Yeah.
and the guy to his left was just being a jerk, and
Yeah.
basically he was always like, "Oh, do this, oh, do that," while he had 3 teammates in that pack with us,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody got lapped by the lead group, and
Oh,
again the lead group was I don't know how far they were from us, but
yeah.
so it's like we're basically just trying to chase on that last lap. And again, it was one of those, that kid was like, you know what, he got mad, and he's like, let's go. He looked at me and said, let's go. And I was like, I love it when people say let's go, because I'm going to go. So
All right,
don't
all you
put the
racers.
carrot there. I'm gonna take it. Just don't tell anybody around me that. Let's go. No, because I never had that. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you're gonna, let's go. I'm gonna work with somebody, but I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? If I have that, then freaking game over for whoever in my fields, not Zwift, okay? Because Zwift is a different animal.
Oh, we can talk about that. We can talk about that.
But it's, so the kid was kind of like, let's go. So then what happened is, since it's wet, that one of the guys jerked his wheel, and at that point the kid was really, really low, and he didn't see the bar. You see, Eric actually pointed it out. He was like, why the hell did they put that band there? That's the only reason why that orange barricade was sticking out. I was like, honestly, Eric, I watched this video at least 1,000 times, and I never really like paid attention to that. And because it was that. That's what it did. It was a truck that they were just trying to put there in place for I guess one of the mechanics or something. But it was awful. Yeah. It was an awful idea. Yeah. But it was that guy to his left that made the guy jerk, and then the rest is history.
Nuts, it's nuts. Yeah, it's funny because where Eric races in Boise, this is really common, kind of the gates and that sort of thing, and it's tough. But then the opposite, where not so much in California because we have industrial parks and it's usually like curbs, is like an open lot with cones. Have you ever done a crit race like that, where it's always been cities like this?
It's always been either like this or more of a closed course, but longer. It's not like very tight corners like that.
Like a circuit. And so that seems to be your friend.
Those orange.
Always orange things. Yeah.
I think it's circuits. But I'm going to say that, but then if you look at my Miles Standish race, that's considered a road race because it's 5 miles. It's really open. There's not really hard turns. So I think that's where I think I stand out more, but I have a really good sprint. Like for my level right now. Yeah. Like the level that I'm in, like I think I have a really decent sprint. So I kind of use that to my advantage. So this year I didn't have good results on the road, but I do race every Tuesday night. It's a practice race where you get Cat 1s, Cat 2s, and those guys are fast. Yeah. And I'm very competitive with those type of guys, and we all know each other. And there's a team they called their local shop right around me, Cycle Lodge, and no, not Cycle Lodge, Corner Cycle, and we call them the Corner Cycle Mafia because it's like eight or nine of them, and they race that practice race sometimes. Yeah, as a team, and it's like, how do we beat them? And with me, I just hook on a wheel, and I'm not letting go. Yeah. And, some of the guys get kind of upset, but I'm like, dude, there's 8 of you and there's 1 of me. What do you want me to do? Yeah. So they get kind of upset. So then sometimes when I pull off the win, it's like, oh, well, you didn't pull. No,
classic, dude.
I wasn't planning on pulling.
No, classic.
They're trying to drop me. Why do I got to pull?
No, totally.
A lot of them are a little older. There's a lot of some young, but in our area, it's cycling. I feel like it's dying. Oh man! There's not many showing up to some of those Tuesday night races, and those Tuesday night races, before I started racing, they used to be 2 nights. It used to be a Tuesday night and Wednesday night because they had that many people. Wow! But those I've been having great success, and that's kind of what keeps me going back, and that's why I raced Beverly, was because I actually had one of those Tuesday nights, and I felt good. I was like, you know what, my fitness is back. And then I went to Beverly. Yeah. So, are these the Wampatuck? Is that the videos I see? Oh man! So I quickly pulled a video up, and if anybody who does like Tuesday Night Worlds or like crit type practices, you think this is like open industrial park or open this? I gotta show this video because I feel like this is like a gravel race. It's what it looks like in the video. No, I think it's because it's so dark. I mean, the video's so dark. Yeah, well, if you want to play it. Yeah, I'll throw it on. I think it's going to be super interesting. So it's a quick one. This is a sprint for third. This was in June of this year. So let me push that over. And so you see the trees coming by. Everyone yelling. He's coming by. He's got a little bit of space here. It's got to be 1 car width. That's it. Oh, but it is paved. Okay, I'll give you that. It's paved. Yeah. Looks like you guys are coming up to the line. Sprint's going on. You see
everyone up and just get nudged right there, just at the line by a rider. But just wanted to show kind of where this race is taking place is definitely a unique place. So is this circuit where people normally bike, or what do they do here?
So it's a state park, and we're literally at the way back. I don't know what they use that for, because it's just like it's like a side road almost.
Interesting.
And it's just a paved 1.2-mile loop, and it used to be in really, really good conditions. But again, everything is cost money. If you don't have many people, there's hard to get it paved. But overall, it's just enough for what we need. Yeah. Until actually this year, we had one guy, because it had like a little ditch, and one of the guys fell, and it was actually one of the top guys. He's top. He came last year in nationals, second place in time trials. So I think he's been a champion before. I'm not sure, but I know for sure last year he came in second. And he went down. So after he went down, everybody was we just stopped the race. It was just, and everybody, one of my friends, he's always saying, "Oh, look, that's your idol. That's your idol." And I'm like, I like talking about him because I like to mimic that he's a strong rider. So I like to mimic him. And at times that's a bad thing, because he goes to these races at Wampatuck, and either A, he's doing it for training, or B, he's just doing it for fun. He's not out there to win. Like, I'm going out there like, all right, I'm going to win. I'm going for a win, And that's kind of my mentality, And a lot of mentalities there. But him is not like that. He goes to train, and, like, he'll go to the last lap and then just come off. Like, he doesn't care for that, So there was one time I was following him, last lap, I'm there, and then he just pulls off, and I was like, oh, shit. And then everybody just passed me, and I'm like, damn it. So I go, that's what I get for doing that. So it's one of those, it keeps you on a race that keeps you on your toes. Yeah. It's fun. It's one of those where if you get lapped, everybody knows it's go to the top of the hill and jump right back in.
Right.
It's just one of those, it's for fun.
Nice.
But everybody knows and keeps an eye out who got lapped and who didn't, so we know who the real winners are. Yeah. But one thing I dislike, and this is the guy that runs it, is sometimes when you get, because basically it's first, second, and third. First gets you get your money back.
Nice.
Second place gets like half. It's only $15, but $15 back. 7, and then like $6 or something. So sometimes one of the guys that gets lapped, like one time I came in second place. One of the guys that got lapped, and then he got his money back, and I was like, "Come on, you got lapped. Like, be real. Like, be fair."
Yeah, for sure. So I guess yeah, so I mean, things can get super serious. Obviously, and you're putting money on the line. People feel like there's something there. So I guess with this can kind of bridge to our conversation to kind of racing or training, kind of on your indoor side. So I know you do a lot of training, a lot of pain cave stuff, a lot of suffering in that sense, and you've had some success in races for sure online. And what's your experience there, and kind of how does that tie in with kind of your outdoor stuff and being able to kind of feed that need that we all have to compete and to win, or that sort of thing, kind of on the online virtual level?
So right now, I think I started last week. I started off with a race on Zwift, of course. I cut down myself. I put my weight up because I'm a lot heavier right now, and I did a Cat C race. Podium that. Actually, no, I won it. I won the first one. It was a Cat C race though, so I won that. And I was like, all right, I have still something left in me. So then I just started training. And what I mean by training is right now I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Mm-hmm. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, I go to the gym in the mornings. So I'm just trying to get myself back into it. I already lost 6 pounds.
Nice.
So I could go back into it and change my weight. But I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to keep it hard for now. So what I'm going to start doing is, I know the labs are starting, I'm jumping in one of the endurance labs.
Yeah.
Because it gets me more structured.
Yep.
But with the Zwift right now, I'm just trying to take it easy. I always say I'm going to take it easy when I get home, and then I see a race and it's like a carrot. Oh, because I know that that's going to make me just push. You know,
Yeah.
when I do one of the training efforts, yeah, the structure workouts, they hurt, but it's mentally draining in a sense where it's
Yeah.
like, all right, 4 minutes of this, or all
Yeah.
right, I'm at to and reach this number. And I'm actually looking at getting a smart trainer. I don't know if you
Oh
have
yeah.
one.
I do. I do. I have the
Not
Cyclops
that it
hammer.
matters.
Yeah.
So not that it matters, but it helps when you do training in roles. I can only imagine how much more awesome it is
Yeah.
because it's going to be if you do ERG mode, I assume. It just gets those numbers for you and you just pull.
Yeah.
Stages that I have, it's kind of you're kind of pushing to that level. Sometimes you're higher, sometimes you're lower,
Yeah.
and then I always want to get my little gold star. So sometimes it's like I gotta get it
Yeah.
right. I gotta get that gold. I gotta get it right. I gotta get it right. So, so with the stages, I have on my time trial bike, and that's what I
Hmm.
have here next to me. But
Yeah.
I have core power meters on the other two bikes,
Mm.
and I'm very finicky when it comes to my gear. I
Of
like to
course.
have everything the same.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Of course.
thing is, on my time trial bike, I can't put 53 chain
Hmm.
ring like I have on my road bike. So those two bikes have to be identical.
Right.
So I ended up just getting back to the Dura-Ace
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
regular
Hmm.
crank, and I had both chain ring the same, everything's the same. But it's on Zwift though, and being around you guys, it definitely makes you want to push harder, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. It's also awesome to see our own guys in a race. We're not communicating, but we'll work together in some magical way. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It is
I
fun.
think it was me and Brett one day. It was me and Brett, but Brett, you made me upset one day. So me and Brett were racing. We was doing awesome, working together, right? And I think it was at a sprint. He took the sprint, and we were working together without even talking, and it was great. So I think he took the sprint, and I came in second, or he came in second, and I came in third. It was something like that. And so the following week, we started talking to each other. It was crazy because we really didn't know much of each other, and we just
Yeah.
started talking. He's like, "Oh, I'm racing next week, or whatever," and I was like, I'm hit or miss or whatever. I got into a race, and whatever. We're racing again. I didn't know he was there because it was just one of those I just jumped in, and whatever. Again, me and Brett, same person, and I was like, all right, perfect. This, we're gonna magically work together again. We did, and all of a sudden, it's like maybe like the last lap he had to go, but I wouldn't have known that. He didn't say anything to me. He had to go, and he just takes off, and I'm like, what is he doing? So then I'm trying to just try to catch up, whatever, and I couldn't. And so then I ended up falling back to our, the Zwift pack and, finish the race. And then I messaged him after. I go, dude, what was that? And then you disappeared. He's like, I had to go. I was like, but why did you do that to me? And it was a fun, hard race at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Zwift racing
Like
can be so crazy, But when you know people,
it's
it's
competitive.
nice. It is. But then you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, right? We've got riders out there that are just boom out the front. You're like, wait, what's on? Like, but when you get to know names and you get to know personalities, like the way our team works, and you get to know people from other teams and kind of can communicate, whether it's via text or on the Discord channel. I think that brings that another level that we don't get outdoors because there's not as much communication like when you're in your circuit races. People are like, closed off, just me. What are they doing? Or they're barking, hold your line, hold your
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
One of those, one
Yep.
of
I
those.
hate those.
Yeah, yeah. So it's funny because I do obviously like to talk a lot. I talk to people. I'm like, oh, if you were trying to close the gap, I'll be right behind you. Like, Adam, you got this, dude. You got this. We're right there. We're right there. Come on, we've got this. With 3 bike links, we've got.
As long as you're behind them, right?
Yeah, exactly. No,
That's what
I'll
I make
take
sure of.
I'll take the
I'm
pull.
like, we got this.
We got.
No, I don't pull. I don't pull. I'm one of those. I'm one of those that people make fun of. Like, how I think it was when you guys went to Arizona. You guys were making fun of. I think it was
Eric Denning. That's you,
Andy.
Eric.
Andy.
Andy was doing it the whole time. He was
Eric.
telling Eric. Yep,
Eric
yep.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Andy and Eric. I think it was going back at each other. But yeah, I'm one of those because like I have decent power, but that raw power that the people have to pull the way they pull, it's like, cool, thanks for pulling, but you're not going to be able to sprint later, so let me just take the win or whatever,
Oh man, calling him out. I love it.
Talk-
So okay, yeah. So we were
talking
talking.
about pulling real quick.
Yeah, go.
It's a fun. a funny little story. At Wampatuck, one of the guys were racing, and this guy, he's like a Cat 3 or Cat 2, and he literally goes to me. He goes, "Come on, go pull. I'm saving my energy for the sprint." And I myself, and I'm like, "Am I like? Did you not know I was too?"
Like, are we
Like
worried?
he literally told me, he goes, "I'm saving my energy for the sprint." Okay, so you want me to
Oh
help
yeah,
you to beat me? What?
yeah. You're like,
But yeah, that
you can
was that
you
was the
reach
best
me.
pulling story I've had because that guy he literally told me, he goes, "I'm not gonna pull. I'm saving my energy." Okay,
Yeah.
let's save your energy. Yeah, let's just save yours. But
Here's
yeah,
my
that was
PayPal address. You can send your check here.
freaking man.
All
It's
right.
crazy, fun, but it's still you know how it is. It's competitive. It's like
It is.
eh,
Yeah, we get those group rides. I mean, all around the season here because of the weather. You'll get competitive rides all throughout the year. So we definitely need to look at that. Oh, speaking about bikes, I wanted to pull up a photo of your steeds. It might be a little from a little while back, but let me pull this photo up. I've got the photo of your Pinarello here on the wall, and then your Shiv, right? That's what we've got here on the bottom. Yeah,
yep.
tell me about kind of your builds and kind of how'd you come about these bikes here.
So my road, the Pinarello, that's kind of like was my tri bike in a sense, right? That's what got
Oh,
me.
interesting.
And I just never, like I said, at the time I was just doing sprint tries. I wasn't gonna be doing anything
Mm-hmm.
crazy at the time.
Yeah.
But I got the Pinarello. It was,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a starter bike, and I just stuck to it. Like the bikes are expensive,
Oh, for
so I
sure.
ended up getting my wheels. I got my wheels, and then I put my name all over that because I was
Yeah.
like, why not?
Yeah.
And then I put everything Di2. I would never have a manual gearing. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I'm too spoiled. Um, so then so the Pinarello. I kind of hooked it up with everything that I at the time. Now that the new Durace came out, but I had everything on there. And then I got my Shiv just for fun, basically. It wasn't really any particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then first step was I bought the bike with the frame only,
Oh, nice.
and I was like, I want the Di2. I don't want to
Of
get it out of
course.
shop without the Di2, so I got everything on it. I had got the Quark power meter at that time. That's the only time I'm gonna say my shop failed me, which was with the when I bought that Quark, it was a 110 BCD, so you can't really
Yeah.
put a 3053 on there without going like with a
Mm,
Wicked Works chainring.
right.
And then that's a super weird chainring. It's like a 53 with a 32, a small one.
Yeah.
Super weird combo. But so yeah, and then I get into tri bike, and I just kind of use that for our Thursday nighttime trials that we have. But I'm
Nice.
not really a time trialist, but it pushes me. That guy that I was telling you about, that's a national,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
second place, and he's a time trialist, and he does that, and he kicks everybody's behind. And
Uh,
but I like to do it because it motivates me to just practice that threshold. If not, nowhere else you're gonna do that threshold out on the road, unless you're not in that circuit around me, and at least, and that's the only place that's gonna push me.
right, right,
Not
right.
that Zwift does it, because when I'm doing an FTP test on Zwift, it's not the same. It's you just forget that number that whole time. It's just focusing on that number. But when you're on the road, you enjoy I don't know, it's different.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So,
But
go ahead, go ahead. Do you have a
I don't
cyclocross
know.
bike
So
too?
that's that. So yeah, I got suckered into cyclocross. So
Suck it
cyclocross,
into.
I got suckered into it. So my shop, they're big cyclocross guys. Meanwhile, the owner and the owner's friend, they used to be pro road racers, and so
Hmm.
they have that background, but they like to cyclocross, and it's like I hate it. So they mentioned it to me, and I was like, you know what? So I bought a bike
Yeah.
before the time trial bike. So before I bought the Shiv, I bought a cyclocross bike, and I was like, you know what? This sport sucks. I did one.
Oh.
This sucks. I asked the guy, can I return it? He did hell of a thing for me, and we got the Shiv. Like
Ah.
back, he did everything he did for me, and I was like, I'm not doing cyclocross ever again. The next year, he comes to me again. Hey, you want to try cyclocross? I go, nope. He goes,
Uh,
well, my bike. He's like, I'm selling my bike. So his bike, the owners of the shop's bike. Mind
mhm.
you, we're the same size and everything, so it was perfect. And I was like, I'm not gonna get a better deal than this. I don't like the color. I'm very picky on my bikes. And I was like, you know what? F it. So I bought it. So I did like maybe 7 or 8 cyclocross races. I
Nice.
still hate it. Um,
Ah!
I don't like it. I don't like it. You wanna know why? I don't have the skills.
The
You know, the
handling.
handling. I
Hmm?
don't have it. I don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and it's not. It's and I like the longer style races where the
Hmm?
finish line's a long straightaway because then that's the
Yeah.
only time I could have fun. It's like yeah, and then I could
Yeah.
sprint somebody out of the line or something.
Yeah.
But I don't have that skill, and I don't have the time to practice that skill because I don't want to. Like I
Yeah.
rather just practice on my bike, on my road, on my skills on the bike. Like that's my heart. You know, that's what I need to
Yeah.
practice on, not on my skills, dodging rocks and jumping logs. I did one race this year, and mind you, it was my first race since my final crash, and first lap in, freaking crash right in front of me, and I'm
Oh
like,
man.
I have the worst luck. I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
my friend, he likes to talk a lot of, but on the road he can't. So he likes to talk on cyclocross because like I struggle. It's like I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
So I got stuck behind that crash. Mind you, I lined up one person behind, like one row behind him, and I was like, I got you this time. Like you have no work. You know, I'm gonna beat you. So the race is going. That crash in the first lap, I lost like maybe 30 seconds minimum. So my friend's gone. So where I work. I got him on the last lap. I caught him.
Nice.
I caught him. One of the guys from our club, and so I caught him. But he was messing with me. There's a video on there. He was messing with me. He was like trying to like push me on a straightaway, and I was like, dude, this is my only way I'm gonna gap this guy, you know. And he's messing with me. I'm like, dude, like, I was like, f off, you know. I'm like, come on, let me
Oh
go.
man.
And then he blocked me from getting off my bike, so I had to like go deeper in the mud. So whatever. At that point, I ran. I was way ahead of him. Not way ahead of him, but I was ahead of
Yeah.
him.
Uh-huh.
And then I did a bad move again. Cyclocross is I hate it. I instead of getting off my bike, I tried to ride through the mud, and he passed me. And at that point, I was screwed because there was a bunch of other guys that we were lapping that just couldn't get out of my way. So I'm like, I can't do
Yeah.
anything. And he ended up beating me by like 2 seconds because I couldn't
Wow.
catch up. But
Yeah.
I had to work for that. You know what I mean? So at
Mm-hmm.
that point, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm done with cross for now. Like I just don't. I don't like it.
So,
I try. Don't get me wrong, I knock it, but I try it. Don't you know? I don't. It's not. You know how they say, don't knock it till you
yeah.
try it. I try it.
Right.
And I'm not gonna. I have the bike. I'm gonna do it for fun, but I'm too competitive to go to a race and know that I'm not gonna be
Oh
any
man.
good. Like I like to. I'm too competitive for that. So
Yeah.
like that's why I like to do it.
So we're
Like I
coming
told
up
my
on
friend, I'll do it. I'll do it.
So we're coming up on time here. I want to respect you for that. But so looking at this year collectively, obviously a lot of kind of things not going the way you like. We're headed to the off season now. Looks like you've got things lined up. What are your goals? What are you looking at for 2019? What's in store? What can we look for from Torpedo Toledo for next year?
So my goal is to win a few races. That's my goal.
Sounds
That's my
good.
goal. I'm going to Miles Standish. Miles Standish is going to be because that's my city. That's where I live. I live in Plymouth.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Miles Standish is like 2 miles down the road from me.
Gotcha.
So to me, I feel like that's my home. So I'm like, I have to win, and that's kind of why I trained so hard last year for it.
Yeah.
And that was like you know, how people say A races. I really don't do that. I race every race to win. So I don't have an A race, but mentally, that was my A race. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what I want. So my goal for next year is absolutely to win Miles Standish.
Yeah.
That's my
Very nice. What is that? Early
uh,
season, mid season? Where is that in the
yeah.
year?
It's kind of early. It's one of the early ones, so that's what makes it good because it sets me up for success in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's usually end of April. End of April.
Nice. Yeah, I heard there's
Yeah.
this couple guys getting together in March that you might be interested. Could get you up to fitness.
Actually, I was thinking about it, but the thing is, I might be going to Idaho again because
Oh,
my father
okay.
to me. And the thing is, where you guys are staying, you're literally like 4 miles from my father-in-law's house,
Oh,
and my
wow.
father-in-law lives out there. And he's actually here for about 2 years. He just came in February, so he's
Nice.
with us for about 2 years. He has somebody like watching the house,
Nice.
and so his wife and my father-in-law, they're gonna be here for another 2 years. And
Ah. Oh,
I
it'll
was
be in the
like,
cards.
man, that would been a perfect time to go back up there because March is my
Yeah.
anniversary, and we went there last year
Oh,
for our anniversary,
nice.
and you guys just I think I just left and you guys went down there, and I was like, oh, what timing was that?
Yeah, that's cool. Oh well,
But
that's great.
yeah,
I
maybe
think
next year.
yeah, and I guess putting my endurance lab cap on, we've got some good resources. Nate Last, specifically from Mental Grit Consulting. It may be worth kind of reaching out to him. He's got some really good things as far as even just for a consultation, as far as coming post crash, getting your season and getting mentally correct. I think you've got a very strong, I would say, very strong attitude towards your goals, and you're very focused. I think just kind of harnessing that energy and transferring that over so that you're able to kind of get the result. You know what I mean? You've got the fitness, you've got
Yeah.
the workouts, you've got everything kind of coming together. You've got the right attitude. But someone like a mental consultant consultation could be useful. So maybe something that you could look for in the future from Nate. We can connect on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well,
So
yeah, you know
yeah,
how that is. You always got to go back to the drawing board sometimes.
no,
So
for sure, for sure. So for the viewers out there, where can I'll put up some links, but where can the viewers see you kind of doing your thing, indoors, outdoors, your channels? Let people know kind of where they can see you.
I'm kind of just a freelancer. I kind of just
Yeah.
I stream to all of them, like Mixer, Twitch, and
Mm-hmm.
YouTube at the same time, and Facebook. My on my
Awesome.
personal YouTube, personal Facebook page,
Yeah.
ToledoTorpedo. But you guys, for Zwift, we have we stream there, but I just kind of stayed away because I haven't been in the endurance labs, and I didn't want to I'm not there to self promote myself. I'm just there to just ride. I like to
Yeah.
have a
Sure.
conversation sometimes.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
sometimes you don't get that during the afternoons. In the mornings, it's a group.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody in the mornings are together, and I'm like, it's just me here and there, hit or miss at night, and I'm usually by myself. But yeah. So I stream everywhere. Whatever links you drop, by
Yeah.
all means,
Yeah, check it
I,
out. I know
I
ToledoTorpedo.com's there. We've got his YouTube channel. I'll put that down. He's got some really fun races. If you like to see race video, he's got his training races on there. Check all of that out. Super interesting. I want to thank you, Adam, for coming on board. And also, Adam created our little team lounge here. I want to thank for that. So for those viewers coming on to for the first time, I want to thank Adam for that. And if you've got a green screen, we can throw you in here. So it takes a little bit of magic. But it worked today. I want to thank you for
yeah.
that.
I hope it comes out good. That was a little surprise I had
Yeah,
for Jason, and
yeah,
he took it to the next level though. So
yeah.
I like it. I
So
like it.
yeah, we'll go back because we're not watching this as we're recording it. Hopefully he enjoys it. It was a good talk. I really enjoy our friendship. Actually, we've never met. We've talked on the phone, and we're talking here. We've talked online, but I like to think that we're good friends. And you bring something to our team
Yeah.
that I feel, that energy, that winning attitude. I feel like a lot of people kind of look up to you for that. So I want to thank you for that. So
Same here, man. I appreciate it.
have a good day.
It's a friendship for sure. That's for sure. All right, guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank
Take
you
care.
everybody for joining us here on the team bus, and we're gonna get one scheduled up. We're gonna get more riders. If you want to be featured on the team bus, hit me up here on Facebook, wherever you see kind of our social medias. I'm streaming all the time in the morning. Catch Adam in the evenings. Say hi. Sounds like he's lonely at night, so hit him up on his stream. All right, all right. Keep the two wheels down, Adam. Helmet side up, and we will see you next week on the team bus. Have a good day. All
Thanks,
right.
man.